Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and I am back to talk about music education, the subject that I am probably the most passionate about in all things music. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with my work in music education, I have several books available. I have 14, maybe 16 DVDs out on the market. I'm constantly working in education. I've been writing for magazines for years. I have taught in schools. I still teach privately to this day. Hit me up via Patreon if you want to hook up for lessons. Something that I am extremely passionate about. But let me be clear, this lesson isn't to talk about me and my approach to education. It's to hopefully inspire you to go out and find lots of great resources for yourself. Now, over the last few years, I've done videos on the subject of guitar instructional books that you must own. I've done instructional videos that you must own. I've talked about great websites where you can go and you can find loads of information, both free and paid. And that last part, that free part, I think is very, very important. It's worth considering that when you source information on a subject like music, I'm not going to say that all information should be free, but music information, it's very hard to gate it. It's very hard to hide it from people because ultimately, when you come to me for lessons, I'm not teaching you anything truly unique. The only thing that's unique about it is my method of teaching it, my pathway to that knowledge. But if you need to learn about triads, I can't copyright that method of learning triads, right? There are lots of ways to learn information, and yeah, sourcing all of these different ways to do that is a wonderful way to help spur your creativity in your own learning process. So I still, to this day, even though I make my living in music and education, I am still very passionate about education. I still spend a good chunk of my income every month on educational content, on instructional videos or books, or I've just dumped about £180 on the Jerry Bergonzi Inside Improvisation books. I'll be doing some videos on those over the coming weeks. I'm working on them with my study club guys on Patreon. So yeah, honestly, still something that I put a lot of time and effort and money into, because you can never ever know too much. As a teacher especially, you can never know too much. You can read someone else's opinion on a subject that you think you know thoroughly, and they might just say one or two things that don't really revolutionize your approach to things, but it's almost like how, as a teacher, you have a utility belt of methods, of ways that you explain information to people. And sometimes someone else's perspective will just give you another tool to put on your utility belt, another way to describe that information. So yeah, over my time here on YouTube, lots of videos, all of those instructional videos you must own, and guitar books that you must own, talked about all websites, etc., etc. And I wanted to talk about another website today. I want to talk about My Music Masterclass. And this is a tricky one. I love the name, right? I love the name. But titling your website My Music Masterclass makes it tricky for me to talk about it, and people think that I'm not just talking about my personal music masterclasses. The website is mymusicmasterclass.com, and I have watched this website flourish. I've watched it grow over the last several years. In their early years, great educational content from the likes of Mike Stern and Scott Henderson. That should be enough to give you an idea of the level of the caliber of teachers on this website, if you like. But over the years, they have expanded their roster to really a very niche group, a very kind of high-end, what I would describe as New York jazz scene guys. So you can go on their website and there is instructional content from the likes of Jerry Bergonzi, right, who is a saxophone player. There's instructional material on there from Adam Rogers and Jonathan Kreisberg and Vic Juris and Ben Monder. There's all of these incredible players, that some of whom I'm completely unfamiliar with, but I think that's the important thing. You can use a website like this not just as a way of learning from somebody that you look up to, but as a great way of discovering new people that fall into that same pedigree as the people that you look up to. If you enjoy Mike Stern's work and you go on there and then you discover Vic Juris, awesome. If you look at Vic's work and then you see, I don't know, Pascal Grasso on the website as well, you go, okay, who's this guy? Check out some of his videos. You instantly get the idea that the guy is a top tier jazz guy. There is so many great artists on this website. I just want to go through some of them now with you. So I have the website loaded up here, and we could search by Masterclass videos. What you're going to see is bass, composition and arranging, drum and percussion, guitar, harmonica, not an area that I need to be putting my time, if I'm honest. Horns, keyboards, licensing, network music business, and getting gigs. Interesting. Production, mixing and mastering, rhythm section, strings and vocals. What I want to go to is I want to go to artists, just to give you an idea of some of the level of artists that are featured on this website. So, I mean, how can we not draw attention to Adam Rogers, right? There are so many names on here. As again, I mentioned Ben Wonder earlier, but you are just going to see names that you are familiar with. Tons of names that you're familiar with. There's Bobby Broom. As we scroll through, there's just Bruce Foreman. How did I not mention Bruce Foreman? Bruce Foreman, wonderful, wonderful guitar player. Charlie Hunter, the one and only incredible Mr. Charlie Hunter. Yeah, David Liebman. This is just an incredible resource for you to go and find information on learning, on looking at different players' perspectives on education. And I cannot recommend that enough. It is a great use of your time. I should be super clear as well. This video is not paid. This is not a sponsored video in any way, shape, or form. I'm just sharing information with you. I'm just sharing these websites that I personally enjoy checking out for my own learning resources. The last thing that I think is kind of interesting, I'm not sure how I feel about this on their website. They have a Get Certified section where you can earn micro credentials. This, from reading into it, this is essentially sort of like an endorsement from a high level educator. These aren't real qualifications, they're not accredited, if you see what I mean. But being able to complete a short course and at the end of it, essentially have a micro credential from Jerry Bergonzi is very, very cool. It's nice as an idea. The concept, of course, is if you're applying to any sort of music school, having things like this on your resume is a great way to show how serious you are about a subject. Having said that, if you're going out looking for gigs and you get offered a gig and you say, oh, by the way, I've got a micro credential from Jerry Bergonzi, probably not going to be the thing that lands you that gig, right? But to be honest, I do still kind of like the idea. So yeah, other than that, typical guitar, not just guitar, music education website where you can dig in deep. Now, a few things to point out. You can, last time I was using this site, actually, I could rent videos. I'm sure I can still rent videos. I'm 99% sure I can still rent videos. Yeah. So you access information on the website by either rental, where you're looking at about $9 per video, or purchase the video for about $16. And of course, you can get bundles of artists in order to save some money. So nice options. I've always purchased things rather than rented things because I prefer to have access to things, at any time that I see fit rather than as and when, having to force time in there because working musician, scheduling can be a bit of a pain in the ass. So yeah, My Music Masterclass. I thought I would make that recommendation today. It'd be one that I thought would be fun to talk about. Have you used My Music Masterclass? I guess is a great question. And are there any other kind of niche sites out there that have this level of pedigree when it comes to the artists that they're working with? You have to be a serious source of information to be able to work with someone like Mike Stern. That's absolutely awesome. Websites like DC Music Schools, Dennis Chang's site, you look at the guys that he features on that website, these are all top tier players and helping using the platform as a way to bring in these incredible artists and work out the inner workings of their playing and then provide that information to us, the education consuming public, is wonderful. It should be applauded, and I think websites like this should be better known. We should be spreading these names out there. My Music Masterclass, fantastic website. So as I say, any other suggestions, please do let me know in that comments section below. Finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. They pay for my music masterclass downloads. I spend a lot of money on educational content. I have to thank these guys for that, so thank you very much for that, guys. And actually, the latest thing that I have here on YouTube is you can now join my channel as a paying subscriber, as a VIP, if you like. So if that is of interest, if you want to get a little badge next to your name when you're in that comment section, check out the join button below. That is very cool. Thank you very much, YouTube, for giving me that option. So yeah, usual stuff here. If you would like to check me out on Patreon, click this button up here, subscribe by clicking this button down here, and you'll see 2 more of my videos there and there. I'm going to go do some practice. I struggle to say that. You guys should do the same. Check out My Music Masterclass first and let me know how you get on. Much love, and I'll see you for another video soon. Goodbye.